It is your boy, it is your homie, it's boy. So look, it's true. The shit is going on. Monday Night Raw just went off like 33 minutes ago, right? And it was going on throughout the night. They said that Sasha Banks and Naomi had left during the show. I didn't know if it was real or not. I was saying, nah, they ain't leave. They probably in the back, not doing it. But nah, they really left the show. And there's a statement I have found on Twitter from Sean Ross. If y'all know who Sean Ross is, he's from Fightful.com. And it says this. Let me pull this put this right here for a quick second and read what it said. This is from Sean Ross of Fightful Wrestling. This is what it says. It says, when Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the arena this afternoon, they were informed of their precipitation, whatever, precipitation in the main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw, which was supposed to be a six-pack challenge. This was to Sasha Banks, Naomi, Asuka. All of them were supposed to be Sasha Banks versus Naomi versus Asuka versus Becky Lynch versus Nikki ASH and Doudrop. Six-pack women's challenge to see who will face Bianca Belair, which we already know it came into a one-on-one match with Becky Lynch and Asuka, which Asuka won. And it says this. It says, during the broadcast, they walked into the head of talent relations, John Lyon's office, with their suitcases in hand, placed their tag team titles, belts on his desk, and walked out. So, what they did, they walked into their office. I guess they had tag team titles, put it on the desk, and walked out. They claimed they weren't respected enough as tag team champions. I do agree that, they could have did more. Even though it's only been all the way a month and a half already. I don't know, and it's saying even though they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct their match, they claimed they were uncomfortable in the ring with two of their opponents. I don't know who on two of their opponents. I don't know if it was Nikki ASH, Doudrop, Becky, or Asuka. Well, I know Sasha has no problem with Becky. I know that's true. They close friends. So I don't know of their opponents, even though they had matches with those individuals in the past with no consequences. Monday Night Raw is a scripted live TV show whose characters are expected to perform the requirements of their contract. We regret we are unable to deliver as advertised tonight's main event. So that means Sasha Banks and Naomi have walked into John Long Island's office. He's still the head talent of talent relations, and he's part of the creative team. So I guess they went into their office. I guess they ain't say probably nothing, and just dropped the title suitcase in their hand and they walked out. What does this mean for the women's division? What does this mean for the women's tag team division? What does this mean for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship belt? What happens now? The belts are now vacant. They walked out during the show. So what does this mean? Does this mean Sasha Banks and Naomi have finally had enough? Does this mean Sasha Banks has finally come to her senses and realized WWE is not what she wanted to be? Cause she respects Vince McMahon, which is me. Who doesn't? What does this mean? They dropped the titles in the office and walked out. That's Sasha Banks being on her own 2 feet now. Kayfabe is over with this one, man. That's it, man. So what happens? What happens to the women's division now since the 2 top stars are gone? What happens to the women's tag team division since the 2 tag team top stars are gone? What happens to that women's tag team championship belts now? They must be going to be up for grabs now. What does this mean for Sasha Banks and Naomi? Does this mean Sasha Banks and Naomi are heading to Tony Khan's AEW? Will we be seeing Sasha Banks and Naomi this Wednesday on AEW as a Joker going against Britt Baker? We don't know what could happen at this point. Sasha Banks and Naomi took their titles, dropped it in the office, took their ball, and went home, saying being disrespected. I would have did the same thing. So what does this mean? Does this mean Sasha Banks and Naomi are on their way to AEW, join Tony Khan, or will they return this Friday night on SmackDown or next Monday night on Raw? They dropped the title, so at this point the titles are vacant. Anybody can get the titles at this point, but anyways, for the guy, I'm gonna let you know we're gonna keep up to date, on Twitter with everything that's going on. And I'm going to keep y'all posted too, as I'm seeing on Twitter too. But anyways, I just had to let y'all know this shit was real tonight. Sasha Banks and Naomi left. Because Becky Lynch said they left. I wasn't believing it. They left. For real. I don't know what to say at this point. But anyway, I'm finna get out here, be safe. Love y'all. Peace.